nauttimaan. Niinku cha-cha-cha, enkä pelkääkään.
What is up everyone, Mark here. Welcome back to my channel, welcome if you're new. Today I'm going to be going over my top 21 songs for Eurovision 2023, now that we have Finland, San Marino, and Poland. I am very excited to get into this list, so without further ado, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to help support the channel. And let's start off with my number 21 spot, which is Ireland. This is the song We Are One by Wild Youth, and if you're Irish and you're watching, I am very sorry. I really wanted to like this song, I really did give it a chance, and I have listened to it quite a few times hoping it would grow on me, and it just hasn't quite done that yet. Like I said in my previous videos, the live performance was actually pretty good, but the song itself is just so generic, so reminiscent of songs from the 2010s, that I just could not get into it at all. So for me, the song has dropped a bit in my list, and it will now be ranked a 4 out of 10. So with that, let's move on to my number 20 spot on this list, which is Let 3 Måneskin, Croatia's entry for Eurovision 2023. And this is quite an interesting song, one that I definitely liked in the studio, but not one that I liked that much seeing the live performance on stage. To be honest, this song has strangely grown on me lately. I've watched the performance a couple more times. I've gotten the sense of what the song is really about and what the artists are trying to go for here. And you know what? I've actually grown to like this song a little bit more. It is pretty fun and it is very chaotic in a good way. And even though I don't like the overall presentation that much, I don't think it is that compelling to me, for lack of better word, this is still a pretty fun song. I like how campy it is. I like how just out of the box it is. So for me, I'm not gonna give it the same score I did before, but I'm also not gonna bump the score up that much. Last time I gave this a 6 out of 10. Right now I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I don't think I'd go as far as to say that I actually really like this song, but I think it's decent. I think it is actually not as bad as I thought it was on first listen, and I think it does have some potential in Eurovision. I mean, this is very unique. This is definitely a joke entry, and sometimes we do need some levity every now and then, especially in times like these, so gotta give them credit for that. And so with that, let us move on to my next spot, which is San Marino. Now, I was actually really excited about San Marino's national final. They always bring something unique, something interesting. They did that last year with Aquila Laro. They did that the year before with Senhit and Flowrida of all people. So I was really curious to see what San Marino would do this time around. However, the song that they actually chose feels really generic to me. That said, let's talk about what I liked about this song. I like that San Marino is bringing another band to Eurovision. There are so many bands that we're getting this year, and I like that a lot. I also love some of the vocals here. Those high notes towards the end of the performance are incredible, and the lead singer clearly knows what he's doing. He's definitely a professional and really delivered a great performance. However, besides it being a bit generic, the lyrics to me are just a little bit uncomfortable, and I'll put some on the screen here just so you know kind of what I'm talking about. As you can see, some of the lyrics are a little bit just odd, but to be honest, when I first heard the song, I didn't really pick up on the lyrics that much, so I don't really think it would bother audiences in Eurovision. However, I don't see this song as a qualifier. I think, like I said, it is a bit too generic. The lyrics, once you actually start to listen to them, are a little bit strange, and I just don't think it has enough impact to be ranked any higher in my list or to qualify for the grand final. So that's my 2 cents on the song. For me, this is going to get a 7 out of 10. It might grow on me over time, but right now this is just the way I feel about the song. It's just kind of how I would rank it. And with that, let's move on to my next spot on this list. This is Blanca with the song Solo, and I am recording this segment right after Poland has chosen their winner, and I just gotta say that I'm honestly a little bit disappointed. I was a huge fan of Jan. I loved the song Gladiator, and I thought the performance was pretty good too, so I'm gonna try not to have too much of that bias affect how I rank this song. But the truth is, I'm just not a big fan of Blanca's entry. I don't think this is a very strong song. I definitely don't think this is very unique, and I honestly just don't think this is going to do well in Eurovision. The song just feels really flat to me. It's the kind of song that I've heard many times before, I mean dozens of times before, and it tries to have a bit of a Latin flair to it, but doesn't quite do it that successfully in my opinion. This is a song that I would listen to if it was on a playlist. Like if I was just listening to a playlist and this song came on, like sure, I'll listen to it, I'll sit through it. It's not a bad song by any means, but it really isn't a song that I personally connect with. It's not a song that stands out at all to me. For me, I just can't rank this any higher than a 7 out of 10. I was actually going to rank this a bit lower, but to be honest, I like this song a little bit more than San Marino's entry, and I also don't find it that bad of a song in and of itself. It just really is not one that is that strong, not one I want to see in Eurovision, and not a song that I would go out of my way to listen to. So with that, let us move on to my next spot on this list, which is Gustav, Because of You. And this is a song that actually, much to my surprise, still continues to grow on me because it is so fun and because Gustav gave such a good performance. I'll be honest, I've caught myself listening to this song a couple more times than I thought I would, and that is just a testament to how fun this song song really is. I don't think the song is particularly unique or insightful, but the song simply has a good energy to it. And I think looking back at that performance, Gustav is a great performer. His vocals were on point, the staging and the backup singers were all great too. The only thing is, this is just not a song that I feel like is that strong for Eurovision or really just in general. I think it's just okay, to be honest, and that's the only reason why I'm still going to keep it at a 7.5 out of 10. Still a pretty good song, and Gustav I think can do very well in Eurovision if he gives the same charisma that he gave us in Belgium Eurosong. So with that, let us move on to my next spot on this list, which is Voyager with the song Promise. And this is of course Australia's entry for Eurovision 2023. Now I was actually really happy to see Voyager being selected for Eurovision. I thought they did a really good job last year. They weren't my winners, but I loved their song, and this song is pretty good too. To be honest, I don't think it's as strong as what they competed with last year in Australia Decides, but it's still a pretty solid song that is very similar to the last one. However, for me, I feel like the song is missing some energy, some extra little something to really push it over the edge. I really like the rock elements of it, but honestly that's about it, and the song just hasn't grown on me too much since I first heard it. I honestly feel like it's a pretty weak entry from Australia, considering that this might actually be their last entry. I know that's just a rumor, but I have heard it a lot, and again, I think Australia's contract actually expires this year. You know, their contract for staying in Eurovision, so we'll see if they renew it or not, but like all those people are saying, this could be Australia's last entry, and I just don't see this as the strongest note to go out on. Even if it's not their last entry, I still don't see it as a very strong entry in general. I feel like Australia could have sent something a little bit more interesting than this, but regardless, I do like Voyager as a band. I think that the lead singer has a great voice, and like I said, I love the instrumental of this song. It just doesn't have that extra something to be that memorable for me. To be honest, I had to listen to the song again before making this video, just because I kind of forgot what it was even about. The song just doesn't have that extra staying power to really make that much of an impact on us, and so I hope that there's some sort of a revamp or something ahead of May, because otherwise I'm not sure if this is going to qualify, to be honest. So for me, Voyager song Promise is going to get a 7.5 out of 10. So with that, let us move on to my next spot on this list, which is Riley Breaking My Heart. Now I'll be honest, when I first heard this song, I kind of rolled my eyes a bit, because this is like exactly what I would expect to hear from TikTok, and I am aware that the artist who sings this song has gone viral on TikTok. That's kind of how he became famous, and when I saw the live performance, I kind of was like, oh great, here we go. And like I said in my last video, I think this song kind of resonates a lot more with younger fans. Now I'm not that old myself, but I just don't feel like I am in the target demographic for this song, and it's funny too because Riley himself is not that young. Riley's 25, which was shocking to me. I saw a post that said that Lazara and Riley are the same age, and I thought it was Lazara who was going to be younger than I expected, but instead it was Riley who was older than I expected. But what it boils down to is just that I feel like this song is for a younger audience, an audience that does not really include me. However, I actually have started to grow in the song a lot. I think it actually is pretty good. I've caught myself listening to it a couple times, and I think Riley is a very charismatic artist. I actually loved that performance in Dansk MGP. I thought the vocals were really good, even if they could have used less autotune, and the whole presentation of it was actually pretty well put together. Again, even though the song itself is not really my thing, I think this is a pretty good song, a pretty good performance, and I think it has a pretty decent chance at qualifying. So for me, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. And with that, let's move on to the next spot on this list, which is The Busker Dance. This is Malta's entry for Eurovision, and it's a pretty great entry, to be honest. I love the performance here. I gotta say, the performance, and in particular the staging, gets a 10 out of 10 for me. I thought it was some of the most creative staging we've gotten all season, and who knows, depending what songs come out next, it might be the most creative staging we get this year. I loved the lead singer's charisma. I loved his voice. I loved so much about this performance. I think the staging really elevates it a lot because the song honestly just is a bit repetitive, a bit weak, and that's the only reason why it's kind of at this spot on my list. And as great as the staging was, I just don't feel like it totally makes up for how underwhelming the song itself is. Now, as is, overall, I think this is an easy qualifier, if nothing else, because of that great staging. So I hope they stick with it, bring it to Liverpool, and maybe even surprise us by doing something a bit different. So for me, this song is going to get an 8.5 out of 10. I think it is really good, just not an entry that I think is as strong overall as the other ones on this list. So with that, let's move on to the next song, which is Theodore Andre with the song DGT. And this is a song that I really liked on first listen, to be honest. And now when I went to see the actual final performance that they had for the national final of Romania, I was a bit less impressed, to be honest. I thought the staging was a bit messy, but I still like the song a lot. And honestly, I know a lot of people did not like that staging, and I wasn't a big fan of it either, but it didn't really hamper my impression of the song that much. I still like it a lot. I still think Theodore has a fantastic voice, and I still think that Romania has a pretty good chance of qualifying this year. I think it really does come down to the staging, as it always does, of course, and here I just want them to tone it down a bit. I want something simple, I want something sleek, I want something just like when Theodore was performing by himself, which I thought was spectacular. So yeah, I hope they do something like that. That's the only reason why this song is not ranked as highly as it was last time. I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10 for now. Just really want them to fix the staging, but regardless, I think Theodore is a great singer. I think that he can really impress audiences live, and really looking forward to seeing this in Liverpool. So with that, let's move on to the next song, which is is Tvorchi Heart of Steel. This is Ukraine's entry for Liverpool, and it is a pretty good song, I gotta say. Even though this song is towards the middle of my pack, does not mean that I don't like it. I think the only thing for me is that I don't feel like this song really stands out that much to me, and I don't feel like it has grown on me that much since it won Vidbeer. What I think really makes this entry stand out, to be honest, is the performance. The performance was actually really good, and I think that if they replicate that in Liverpool, this song is going to do amazing. However, I don't feel like this song has the same chance at winning as Stefania did, whereas Stefania was a song that I feel like anybody would like and anybody could really connect with. This song I just feel like is a little bit too generic, just doesn't feel that unique to Ukraine or to their culture. However, I do like the song a lot. I do love that performance, and I think it has a lot of potential, especially knowing that it's going to have a revamp soon. So for me, I'm going to give this still a 9 out of 10. With that, my next spot is Albina and Familia Kamendi with the song Tu Bije, another of the early songs that we got for this season, and this song is one I really like a lot. I think the only thing is we have not heard it with that good of production. To me, the song still feels a little bit unfinished. I feel like this could definitely use a revamp and some extra little something in it. However, I love all the cultural elements. I love how wholesome the song is. Of course, it has Albina singing with her family, and I love Albina's vocals. She sings so passionately and honestly steals the show. However, like I said, I want the song to really be worked on, to become a lot stronger, and to feel a little bit more cohesive and a bit less messy. So for me, this song is still going to get a 9 out of 10. It has potential to become a 9.5 or higher, but I just want to see how they revamp it and what the final product will be like. So with that, let's talk about the next song, which is Monika Linkite with the song Stay. This is Lithuania's entry for Eurovision this year, and what a great song. Honestly, Monika has fantastic vocals, great stage presence, and the only thing holding this song back from being in my top 5 is just that the song is a little bit generic, to be honest. I mean, minus those cultural elements that I love a lot. One of those in the song, of course, is the use of the folk sound Shuto o Tuto. Another thing I like a lot, of course, is the staging. They have cultural elements on stage towards the end of the song where it looks like some sort of mosaic in the background that is reminiscent of Lithuanian folklore. So I loved that a lot. I feel like the song itself could use a little bit more of that, just because, the only thing really making this unique to Lithuania and to their culture is that kind of Shuto o Tuto part, and the rest of the song is pretty generic, something you would hear on like the radio, a song about like relationships and love that we've heard so many times before. But regardless, I really do appreciate the cultural elements that we did get in this song and in this performance, and for me, this song is going to get a 9 out of 10. I think it is pretty good. I think Monika did a great job with it, and her vocals and the backup singer's vocals were all on point. So with that, let's shift gears to my next spot, Sudden Lights, Aya. This is Latvia's entry for Eurovision, and what a great song. This is definitely one of the softer songs we've gotten this year, and it works really well. I mean, this song is definitely not one that is super over the top. It is very subtle, and the simple staging that they had in Supernova complemented that really well. I love the song a lot. I think it is great. I love the guitar solos and everything. I think my only concern with this song is that it might not be strong enough to compete with the songs I ranked above it, and that's just because the song, again, is very subtle. It is a song that I think needs to grow on people, and is one that I don't think will stand out immediately in Liverpool. However, personally, I've had time to listen to the song a lot more, to watch the music video, and to really gain a lot more appreciation for this song and its meaning. So that's why for me, the song is still going to get a 9 out of 10. I'm not sure if I would rank it any higher just yet, just because, again, I feel like it is not as strong as the other songs I ranked above it, but it's still a great song nonetheless, and one I cannot wait to see in Liverpool. So with that, the next spot on this list is Alika Bridges. I loved this song on first listen. This was my winner for ST for a while before I heard Ollie's song, and even then I still loved Alika. I thought she would have been a great winner, and honestly watching her live performance in the ST final really just proved to me how much she deserves to go to Eurovision, and I'm really glad that she was selected. The song itself I feel is pretty good. I love Alika's vocals throughout, and the staging that she gave us was amazing. I loved the self-playing piano, I loved the lights all around her, I loved her dress as well. I think the only real critique I have right now for this song is just that Bridges doesn't feel that authentic. It feels a little bit too much like Adele for my taste. It definitely feels like songs we've heard before, and so I don't feel like it is that unique overall, at least not that unique to Alika or that unique to Estonia or their culture. So that's the only reason why I'm not ranking this that highly, but I still give this entry overall a 9.5 out of 10. It is really impressive. I think this is top 10 material and will impress a lot of people in May, but as it stands, I just don't click with the song as much personally as the ones I have coming up next. So on that note, let's move on to the next song on this list, Marco Mengoni with the song Due Vite. Of course, this is Italy's entry, and this is actually a song we might not even get in May. Marco mentioned that he might change his song. I don't think that's been confirmed yet, but regardless, this is a great song, and I just enjoyed Marco's performance throughout. I thought he had some amazing vocals, some really fantastic vocals that made this stand out so much in San Marino, and even though he wasn't my personal winner for San Marino, he still did a great job, and I think he definitely deserved to go to ESC. And actually, he was in ESC before. In my last video, I mentioned that Marco was in ESC 2013, and I think this song is actually better than the song he competed with last time. time. I think he stands a really good chance at doing well in ESC. I don't see this as a winner right now, but I think this will click with a lot of people, and even though the song didn't click with me on an emotional level on the first listen, listening to it more and reading the poetic lyrics, I really have come to appreciate the message of this song, how sensitive it is, how personal it is to Marco, and it has simply become one of my favorites this year. For that reason, Tu Bije is going to get a 9.5 out of 10 from me. The only reason it is at this bottom of my list really is just because the other songs I have up next, I just like a little bit more, and that's really all it comes down to. So that said, let's move on to my next spot on this list, which is Lazara, Évidemment. What a great entry from France this year. I really love this song a lot. I've seen a lot of people saying it's just like Voila, but I don't really think so. I feel like the song definitely takes some elements that Voila had, like chanson, that kind of old school style of French music, but it also gives us a modern and disco twist that I enjoy a lot. The song has a great mix of modern and classic elements, and I also loved the music video. I thought Lazara gave a great performance. I don't think those vocals were live in that video, but still, they were very good, and if she can pull those vocals off on the Eurovision stage, I have no doubt that this will get a top 10 result. This is a really great song, one that I think a lot of people are really clicking with already, which is great. Just like with my song review video, I still don't feel like those choruses are really the strongest, but then again, maybe that's intentional and I've just been spoiled by strong choruses. I gotta say though, even with the chorus not being that strong, this song definitely has grown on me a lot, and that's saying something because I like this a lot in first listen. Even though this song is not in my top 3 or even my top 4, I still think it is fantastic. I still think Lazara is a wonderful artist, and I really cannot wait to see what she does in Liverpool. Also, I really hope she brings the same outfit that she had in that video because she looked amazing, and also especially that hat. But anyways, for me, this song is going to get a 9.5 out of 10, just like last time. This might become a 10 out of 10 if we see any live performances of it, just because we haven't really seen the song live, so I'm not really sure what it's going to be like. But based on what we have so far, I love it a lot, and I cannot wait to see what she does in May. So with all that said, let's move on to the next song on this list, which is Vesna, My Sister's Crown. And this is a really great song, one I actually like a lot. Again, the only reason why it wasn't ranked that highly last time, and a big part of why it hasn't been ranked so highly in this list either, is just because I feel like we haven't really seen this song performed live the way that Vesna would have wanted it. ESCZ simply did not have the best production, and this performance felt really messy to me watching it live. However, the song itself is so strong, and their vocals are pretty good too in ESCZ, so I have no doubt that they will give us a great show in Eurovision. It's just that because of the production in ESCZ, I haven't seen the song reach its fullest potential yet, and that's a big part of why it is not ranked as highly for me. However, I love a lot of aspects about this song. I love all the different languages in it. I love just how creative it sounds. The instrumental is a great blend of so many different elements, both modern and traditional, and the song itself really is a celebration of Slavic culture. So that's why I really love the song a lot. I really appreciate everything that these artists put into it, and for me, that is why the song gets a 9.5 out of 10. So with that, let's move on to my next spot on this list, which is Slovenia's entry for Eurovision this year, Joker Out, Carpe Diem. I love indie rock so much, and that is basically what this song is. It really takes me back to the days of Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy, especially Fall Out Boy, which if you don't know is releasing an album next month, which I will probably be reviewing. If you're interested in that, please subscribe. And I just love the way the song sounds. I also really like the way the song was performed. I thought that these artists had such great stage presence, they really knew how to work a crowd, and were just such charismatic performers. I love this song a lot, and I've talked about it plenty of times on this channel, so I'm not going to rant too much about it, but TLDR, this is a fantastic song, a great band with great charismatic members, and just one of the best entries that Slovenia has sent ever. So for me, 9.5 out of 10, and with that, let's get into my top 3, starting with my number 3 spot, which is Alessandra, Queen of Kings. What a phenomenal entry from Norway. Alessandra is just incredible on stage. I loved her vocals. I love the song too. There's a reason this song went so viral on Spotify and on TikTok. I've spoken so much about this song just because we've had it out for a while, so I'm not going to ramble too much, but to sum it up, I love Alessandra's vocals. I love the inclusion of Italian in the beginning of the song. I loved the way that she was able to hit those high notes live in MGP, and I also just loved the staging of the song. I thought her outfit was great. I thought the background dancers were great. I just loved almost everything about this. The only critique I really have, to be honest, is just that the song sounds a bit like Run to the Hills, and is not maybe the most unique for that aspect, but I feel like Eurovision fans, or even general audiences at home, are not really going to pick up on that. I mean, not everyone watches national finals like we do. Not everyone is going to even know who Clara Hammerstrom is. So for me, this song is going to get a 9.75 out of 10. I think it is near perfection. I might actually give it a 10 out of 10 soon, but right now as it stands, just the song's similarities to other songs does kind of get to me, so that's the only thing holding it back from being in my top 2, but still a phenomenal song, one I love a lot, and one that will definitely grow on me before May. So next up is Karja with the song Cha Cha Cha, and this is Finland's entry for Eurovision 2023, the first new song we got this weekend, and it is a song that I love so much. I've loved this song since first listen. I thought it was so much fun, it had a great beat, a great sound, something we've truly never heard before. It combines so many different styles of music that it's really hard to classify, which I like a lot. I love those songs where you really don't know what to say about them just because they are so unique, and And Cha 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 is a great example of that. This song was definitely my favorite for UMK just because of how much it stood out, and I'm really glad that they took a lot of elements from the music video and put them into the staging. Of course, we have the outfit that Cardio was wearing, and we also have the boxing ring. This was a fantastic performance. I loved the live vocals, I loved the lights, I loved the production. I did kind of like the dancers too. I think they were supposed to be like cha-cha dancers or something. I thought that was a fun little addition, but I also didn't think that the performance really needed them that much, although I did love some certain moments with them, like the conga line. And overall, this was just a great show, a great song, and one of the best that I think Finland has ever sent. I really don't have any critiques for the song or the performance, again, besides those dancers not being that necessary. And for me, this is going to be the second song that I give a 10 out of 10. However, this is still only my second place because there was one song above it that really impressed me and is still my number one spot, and that is, you guessed it,
she's an icon, she's a legend, and she is the moment.
Blanca Paloma with the song Ea Ea. Still my favorite, still my winner for Eurovision 2023. Blanca gave such an incredible performance that I just feel like has not been matched yet, and I'm not even sure if it will be matched by the time we get to May. Her vocals were impeccable, her staging was some of the most unique and outstanding staging I've ever seen, and just everything about this song, from the lyrics to the production, is perfection. It is so unique to Blanca, so unique to Spain, so unique to Spanish culture, and is simply one of the best songs that I personally think that we've gotten this year. So for me, just like last time, this is going to get a 10 out of 10. What a phenomenal song, what a phenomenal performance, and I cannot wait, and I mean I really cannot wait to see Blanca in Liverpool. I really hope I have a chance to see this song live myself, considering that I am hoping to get tickets for Liverpool later this month. We'll see when they go on sale, but yeah, what a great song. With that concludes my list of my top 21 songs for Eurovision this year. If you agree, disagree with this list or the comments that I made, please let me know. I really want to hear what you have to say. And once again, thank you all so much. I really appreciate everything. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help support the channel and help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much again. I appreciate everything. And with that, I will see you all next time. Peace.